Hello everyone, Agion here, another Steel Division Normandy 44 replay. So on the south side, as the 3rd armor, we have Pbatt. Spawn the... Also as his ally, as the guard's armor, we have Panzeh, I think. I'm not exactly sure how to properly pronounce it. As their opponent, we do got the 9th Panzer, the Svinflykinn, I have no idea how to pronounce that. And his ally, the Panzer Lehr, Robo. Hopefully I got that one right at least. We do have Chromo 7s being deployed. They do have 11 armor, 11 armor penetration, and only pack 38s here. But they're probably going to be within the penetration range with the closer based on their positioning. We do got a large number of Panzer Grenadiers coming on out. We do have another pack 40 here, more infantry, reconnaissance unit. Do got a lot of armor. Immediately transmission damage on the Sherman tank. Oh, there's a Martyr 3 here. That is quite important. I'm moving with some Vickers over here. Motor rifle leader. Motor carrier has still not been deployed up. Do got an HE Carmel. Perhaps just lying in wait, just being careful. Do got a Panzer Shrek team. Do got some Staatstroop in the middle of the map, along with a recon. With a 30 cal. That 30 cal tends to give away, buddy. That Sherman tank did in fact go down. That is a pretty good early snipe. This Martyr 3 now really doesn't have much to shoot at. It does have HE rounds, however, with 4 HE, so it is reasonably effective versus infantry. We got a mass fallback over here. Oh, I didn't see the Stuart underneath the half tracks. But we do got Panzer Grenadiers being forced back by Army Rifles. Army Rifles are only equipped with Garands and a couple carbines. So they're better, maybe better at Panzer Grenadiers. They do have an SMG, however, but I think the carbine with that little bit additional range does help in. But there's 2 squads engaging it. They do, of course, have 1-star veterancies thanks to the nearby army leader. We got some just half tracks here to support. Is putting some additional damage, and that squad will get taken out. And the Stuart will now make its way forward. Was perhaps going to run straight into 2 AT guns, and that just probably spelled death for it. Over here, whole lot of nothing. Reinforcements coming in, not big surprise, just more infantry to deal with the army rifles. Panzer Grenadiers, this variant anyways, the common variant, does in fact have 2 LMGs, so they will have a good amount of suppression. We got a mortar half track. Looks like it's rolling some misses on the moto rifles. The rifles do, of course, have 1 Bren, 2 stuns, and 1 Pbatt. Panzer Warfare being deployed on the field, so we will have rocket artillery nice and early in the game. And right now, I would probably just take this Jeep and perhaps make it attack, move forward. Staatstroop could take it out, saying anything with no armor is very vulnerable to rifle fire. Just barely. Ooh, Martyr's now lining up a shot. We'll take out the half track. They are in an orchard, so vision's very finicky when they're in an orchard like that. Is that what these are? Orchards? I always assume like there's some sort of apple orchard. Or an apple orchard, really. Ooh, and the Stuart will manage to take out that Martyr. That is actually a pretty good kill. And the Martyr doesn't have much armor, but it does have excellent armor penetration. Reinforcing Panzer Grenadiers and now moving forward. Half track versus half track. It's both going nowhere, but it looks like the MG42 is getting more suppression in. Motor rifles are making their way forward. The Pack 38 only cannot engage it. We do got this Cromwell 7 still on the field, and no AT answer, no suitable ATs coming on out. We do got some AA half-tracks coming forward. They're eyeing to suppress the advancing infantry, but this Cromwell is very problematic. We got Cromwell Command 6 now moving forward. This Panzer team, Panzers do have the 250-meter range. And this Pack 38 does have 10 armor penetration, so it can penetrate to 7 armor. And will get a kill on the second shot. That's actually a pretty good pickup. Seeing how it looks like the allies are doing quite well. They both have similar income doctrines at this stage of the game, so it can go either way. But it looks like there will be a substantial income bonus for... Actually, no. They'll still be slightly behind for the Axis players. And then there will be still just slightly behind. The income's going to be very similar, so it's probably largely negligible based on how unit performance is. Pack 38 trying to hit the Cromwell. Cromwell does, of course, have 11 armor, but they're within 200, maybe 300 meters. I can't really tell. So he will be able to penetrate the armor, but very, very barely. The HE Cromwell is now moving forward. Looks like the AT gun was cleaned up. That is fine. He did his job, taking out a tank itself. But the AA half-track is now moving on forward. The AA half-track is very peculiarly moving around. Not sure why he's trying to... He will lose the AA half-track with one more direct hit, most likely from the Cromwell 6. It's 20mm. While not effective versus aircraft, it can be used against infantry as an alternative suppression platform other than an MG-34 or 42. About some M5 half-tracks with, I think it's motor rifles probably. Nice little barrage there. Will wipe out the pack team. Sometimes taking out those individual but important units such as an AT gun is very nice. Over here, do got a mechanized assault coming forward. Panzer Grenadiers, while not been able to deal with the Steward, there's now another Sherman tank out on the field. And this will be very problematic, having another tank deployed in the area. However, he does still have access to these Panzerfaust, but just haven't been staying out of max range. Flame half-tracks now moving forward. But in its current state, it can be taken out easily by the Steward. Nice 2-pack shots, taking out both those half-tracks. Those half-tracks do provide quite a bit of support in the fact that they're basically a mobile machine gun platform that has a good amount of armor to withstand a rifle fire. Unlike the Jeeps and Kubelwagens with MGs. They just don't do anything. They really just don't do anything. So we do got a Puma being deployed out. The Puma is a reasonable tank destroyer, but only has 10 armor, which is very problematic versus this 11 armor Cromwell 7. And we do also have a Sexton out on the field, so we will have artillery to soften up the enemy. Looks like he's aiming for this AT gun that's very exposed. Oh, but this Panzer Grenadiers squad is getting very close. The motor rifles will spot it before he gets into Panzerfaust range. That is 400 meters? So he's just probably barely out of range. And with enough suppression nearby, he will not be able to get the Panzerfaust out. A half-track as well as regular machine gun half-track will be suppressing down this infantry. Looks like just some standard rifles. Expendable, but you don't really want to lose too many. Because the Panzer will kill off a half-track over here, but will immediately get killed off by the Panzer 6. So the Axis players are really taking a beating. Oh, I'm all out of water. Darn. Oh, I'm gonna go thirsty this cast. Tank will be moving forward, but there is a very prominent hedge line right there, so he has to be very careful. He needs to send out infantry beforehand, because while the field pressure reaches out to here, there could be easily infantry squad. We do got a mortar half track here, so we have more indirect fire for the allied players. Looks like this AT gun's aiming for the Stuart. Will fire off one shot, but it will be taken out. Rolls a bounce as well. Flame half track does in fact going down, which is very problematic. And there's actually 2 Stuarts here. You got Tiger E coming on out. Tiger E with 2 stars of veterancy. This is an asset he really needs to deploy. With 12 armor, 6 pounders, Cromwell will not be able to gauge it at max range. However, that's max range. Again, if the Tiger tank goes in too close, he can easily be taken out. Nearby officer unit, a mobile officer unit, has been deployed in order to help inspire this tank, resulting in it to be very lethal right now. Field control is in favor of the allied players at +2 at 58%. Two Martyr 3s have been deployed. Martyrs are still an excellent tank destroyer, but they don't have much armor in return. As we saw earlier with a Stuart taking one out. This squad is not fully into the tree line, so he does spot this Panzer Grenadier unit. I see these 3 models walking on outside. This mortar has spotted the half track as well as the Stuart. Wasn't sure what he shot at, but he may be able to see that half track. Maybe just out of vision range. Can't really tell. He's lining up a shot now. And I got a lag spike when it was firing. And the tracks are currently broken. So that half track is good as dead. Because it is dead. Tiger tank has been spotted. AT gun out of range. We'll force back the Puma. Oh, but we'll barely manage to get the Puma in time. That is a reconnaissance asset that he really did need. And now the Stotch troop is the only thing he has in the area to spot. Looks like Panzer II's not being deployed out in the field for their auto cannon capability. Oh, these infantry squads being caught out while deploying in an Opel Blitz. If he loses... Oh wait, that Opel Blitz somehow stayed around for a bit longer. Ooh, there goes a Stuart, 2 of Panzerfaust. That's exactly what he needed, and nearby suppression damage will force surrender of the other squad. Mortar half track is a little bit in a precarious spot. A lot of reinforcing infantry, a lot of pioneers. Pioneers are excellent city claiming units. They also do have an LMG as well as a lot of bolt action rifles, so they're excellent at range as well. Looks like Stuarts will be getting hit by the looks, and the Martyr tried to get a shot in, but was unable to get a shot off, but now be able to, staying at max range, but he's currently focusing on the German tank. Will roll a miss. Will roll a bounce there. It's 2 Martyrs here hitting them, trying to hit him anyways. And Panzer IIs are going to be trying to engage the Stuart, but this Martyr just needs to move a little bit forward in order to gauge it. Track's broken. That is not good. This Martyr should have vision of it. Now it does. Stuart retarget to the Martyr and falling back before it gets a shot off. The Stuart does in fact go down to a Panzerfaust. Nope. Panzerfaust? May have been from this mortar? Oh, it goes down. Not exactly sure from what, but it's down. The mortar half-track actually using his pinto mount to force back the Pioneer squad. And there goes the Panzer II Lux. The other one has tracks broken, so this Stuart's being very effective. I believe this is the one that took out the Martyr as well. There goes that Lux. Just very good finesse. He's actually turned off his other weapons, eyeing to sneak up on those martyrs and kill them off. As a distraction focusing on another unit, he fires and will not be able to get it. He needs to back up while letting his gun to reload. The martyrs are just giving him position away and sort of ruining their targeting since they do have HE rounds because they're just targeting that army rifle squad. That army rifle squad being very, very problematic. And that Stuart's trying to retreat back. He's trying to hit that one martyr. Only one can fire back at it. Repositions in time. No, he does not. This Pinto machine gun's force fire on the ground. Not exactly sure why. And there goes that very valiant Stuart. We will need to deploy some more assets. We do got a Sherman Jumbo over here. Sherman Jumbo has the most amount of armor in the game at 20. King Tiger only has 19. What about the Panzer? That's 15. By the way, but if he gets too close to the Panzerfaust, that'll be very problematic for the Sherman Jumbo. If he's force firing the ground, with fire position for the mortar, but there's nothing there, and hence why the machine gun was firing as well. So he lost all of that ammo when he really didn't need to. Army rifles trying to engage the Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers on the hold fire stance. If they were to just open fire, it'd probably be better. But right now, they've been spotted. Now they're going to be firing back at the army rifles. Now the Sherman tank will be using all of its might against it. We got an M15 here, and it looks like that mortar half-track did in fact go down. Both the martyrs are still alive. Time to look back over here. It's been a while, actually. I looked back. You got the Tiger tank still alive. Looks like the 6-pounder over here is down, but there's now a 17-pounder out. The A weapon's out of ammo. This one's pinned down. A lot of ground has been pushed and claimed by these rifles. Oh, another Tiger tank with transmission damage. This Cromwell must be the culprit for it. You got a Sherman Firefly out on the field. Cromwell lining up a shot using a superior aim time. Fires, rolls a miss, receives a miss. Looks like the next shot will be almost unison. Tiger tank will fire first and will destroy the Cromwell. But the Firefly is now engaging it. There's an officer nearby to help inspire it, but the Tiger tank does have 2 stars of veterancy, rolls a bounce, receives a bounce. With transmission damage, he just has to fight. Fires, rolls a miss, receives a miss. Fires once again, and will be forced to fall back with transmission damage. That's going to be a limp. Firefly will recover briefly, but falling back once again. I see Panzer IV has been deployed on the right side. Looks like 2 Panzer IVs. This will be an excellent amount of field presence, but the Sherman Jumbo is still very problematic. Tiger tank still has transmission damage, managed to crawl behind the building. It looks like we do got a Wisp, Vice hitting the Firefly. I see an aircraft. The first aircraft has been deployed. A Typhoon AA. What is he hitting? We'll be hitting the command vehicle. We'll force it to fall back. Large number of mortar half-tracks are now deployed. The suppression damage is preventing these army rifles from moving any farther forward. More infantry is being deployed. We got to retreat, didn't see what it was. Oh, there's a Sherman tank. Standard Sherman tank. It has an engine destroyed, so it'll be unable to move. And its vision range is not good. So this is a very bad spot for our engine destroyed. Granted, infantry, it will deny pioneers quite well. Panzer Grenadiers with Panzerfaust, not so much. Panzer IV engaging the Sherman tank. Nope, hitting the half-track. The Orchard providing line of sight blocker. And we could see the command Sherman try to go in for a shot, along with the other Sherman tank. Battle phase C initiated, and I believe I saw another Sherman Jumbo being deployed. Or was I just not paying attention? I'm seeing things. Command Sherman does in fact go down. Oh, lag spike. Does in fact go down to the Panzer IV. And we've got a Pioneer Assault engaging the half-tracks. These units are pinned down from the mortars. The half-track itself will be pinned down shortly. In fact, destroyed by a bundle grenade. Or by the mortar. One of the two. We got the push forward. This Tiger tank's now moving forward. The command Tiger tank limping back into the battlefield. Tiger E is, with the Vector C3, getting some hits on the Firefly, but each one of them is bouncing, unluckily. You got a Jagd Panzer out on the field, 14 armor penetration, 12 armor, well, 14 armor, 12 armor penetration. Trying to hit the Sherman tank. We do got some Panzer Grenadiers, or what's left of them, moving forward. We'll in fact take out that command tank. Sharpshooter has been spotted and will be crushed. Nice mortar smoke. Wasn't sure who's the one that cast it. Probably just trying to smoke out the Tiger tank. If he brings forward an AT squad, or throw some AT on it, that would be great. Force fires the ground by... He actually force fired the ground through the smoke? Can you do that in this game? Oh no, he's finding a brief angle along the tree line, hitting the rifleman. The Jagd Panzer moving forward. The second Tiger tank now providing quite a good amount of pressure. View control still in favor of the Allies. They're almost at 2,000 tickets. They need to get 3,000 tickets. Large amount of mortars. A huge amount of mortar teams are out on the field. No, wait. Those are just two regular half-tracks with machine guns. Never mind. But you will need to get some ammo for these guys soon. One of them starting to run low. Ooh, Panzer IV out over here has been bailed out, most likely to the Sherman Jumbo, because it just finished it off. Martyrs will have a huge trouble versus the Panzer, versus the Jumbo, as well as the Panzer IV with that absurd amount of armor. Even at this range, I don't think they have a chance of penetrating it. More Panzer IVs have been deployed. I believe the Sherman Jumbo is more slotted to win out on this engagement. I think it's just one more shot until his opponent is suppressed. I was wrong. Panzer's making the move forward. 17-pounder has been spotted, or just general barrage. Actually, it's all barging that tree line there, but he moved it forward. It is currently pinned down, but it's not being shot at, so it will recover. Both of these Tiger tanks now moving forward. Firefly has been spotted. Tiger tank's going to be firing, but rolled miss after bounce after miss. Even with that 3 stars of veterancy, I would imagine he would have been somebody. He would have taken out the Firefly by now. Firefly does, of course, have better arm penetration, but less accuracy. Do got an Achilles now moving forward. Our Achilles is an M10 with a 17-pounder. Looks like the... Oh, and there goes that Tiger tank. The Tiger tank really was rolling unlucky. I would assume he would have taken out that Firefly by now. But apparently not. Do got now 2 Achilles. And do got now a rocket run coming on forward. Trying to hit the Tiger tank. Forces it to fall back. IP has been deployed out. A general barrage onto the mortar teams. Does of course have a huge amount of ammo that it can burn through, but I believe it can fire all 60 rockets in one barrage. But we'll force back those mortar half tracks. Sherman Jumbo is still problematic, as well as we still got a large number of Panzer IVs, but that one goes down as well. That Sherman Jumbo, showing that the Allies have heavy armor as well, though only one battle group has access to the Sherman Jumbo. Sherman Jumbo just does not fear the Panzer IVs. We do got a Sherman 76mm over here. Also got a Panzer deployed as well. Looks like the crew got knocked out with that crit. Maybe there's time for the Panzer IVs to rush forward. Oh, but the Sherman Jumbo quick shots that guy. And actually down to his last 7 armor-piercing rounds, so he's actually starting to run out of ammo. Rolls another bounce. Let's see. That is approximately 500 meters, I'm guessing. Which means he only has like 19 or 20 armor penetration. He can't penetrate the armor. I don't believe at this range he can penetrate the armor. That tells you how resilient 20 armor is. 2 more Panzer IVs moving forward. And now, but I think the problem is now the Sherman tank is running out of AP rounds. It needs to get a supply truck up here to it. We do got another Sherman Jumbo to help relieve it. We'll get transmission damage there. I see a Panther have been deployed over here. And the Sherman tanks is now out of AP rounds. You may just want to reverse move it back. Crew knocked out. Now he could have gone ran forward to try to get it surrender. And there it goes. I believe that was in fact side armor because it was retreating back. The Sherman Jumbo definitely paid for itself. Oh, Panzer Grenadiers are currently pinned down. Looks like these Achilles or... Ooh. Firefly? Firefly? Where's the other Achilles? Panzer must have had something to do with that. This Panzer trying to hit that Sherman tank. It does get hit the Sherman tank multiple times, but has not been able to kill it. This Command Panther may roll the battle into the other player's favor. Into their favor. But there's still heavy tank assets, anti-tank assets. Do got a Tiger tank being deployed out now. These Panzer IVs losing a huge number of them. This Sherman Jumbo actually has a bit of side armor exposed. He needs to make sure he maintains a medium range in order to prevent death, pretty much. Penetration through the front. Shooter knocked out. That's not what the Panzer forward wants. He may be able to rush it now. You in fact have a Calliope here. The Calliope does in fact have access to AP rounds. If we were to angle it this way, you'd be able to ambush one. Transmission damage, another bounce. Utilizing its armor, it is an arm penetration range, but it's not in. But still more slot to win out because it has also very good arm penetration at this range. Oh, his opponent's not so much. Shooter knocked out again. Not good. Fires a bazooka shot. Will force it back. Rolls a miss. He should aim for the other one since it's currently is able to fight. And rolls a couple misses, but providing some good suppression damage. Looks like this officer does in fact go down. Pioneers as well as Panzer Grenadiers are moving forward. Just now the Pioneers, because no, there's still a Panzer Grenadier alive. Sherman Jumbo Armor, reigning supreme, showing how the Allies can do it as well. The control is still in favor of the Allied players at +1. We do got Pbatt fire hitting these half tracks. That was just a regular gun half track, but this AE half track, losing that would be much more problematic. You got Puma as well as Command Panther. Fires off the bazooka, well, the Pbatt will roll and miss on the AA weapon, and will be now be pinned down. You got SDK FZ10. I don't believe that's a pack 43. I think it's just a pack 40, though I can't remember exactly. Usually the Multier is the one that carries pack 43s. Tiger tank moving forward with some infantry, most likely Panzer Grenadiers or Pioneers. I don't think he can deploy anything else. Jagdpanther as well as another Tiger tank moving forward, and do got an allied Command Panther now aiding him. Transmission damage is on the Sherman 76. $17-pounder still alive, one man left, but that's all you need to fire a gun. Even if it's a big gun. Very big gun. Well, there goes that Panzer IV. I think it was to a bazooka. It's currently reloading. The squad is currently has his weapons deactivated, or at least the rifles, trying to run down the tanks. Pack 40 does have access to HE rounds, but we'll claim that Sherman tank. Panzer Warfare and Weiss firing off the barrages. Rolls a large, relatively missed on those riflemen, but will pin down 2 out of 3 squads as well as the officer. Aircraft fired off some rockets. Oh no, that's a P-47 with 10 excellent rockets, and got another one over here, forcing back the command tank as well as the Tiger E. Transmission damage. Sherman tank eyeing to destroy it. It does have arm penetration in order to engage it. Will take out the Tiger tank. Very good engagement, suppressing it with the aircraft. We'll go ahead and start doing some regular machine gun strafes on it, and we'll take out the Command Panther as well. That is excellent play by Pbatt. I'm not exactly sure. And then we got the final Sherman Jumbo. I believe you can only deploy up to 3 out on the field. I was trying to hit the Tiger tank. E-47 with another rocket strafe will not suppress the Jagdpanzer, but ooh, it's 300 meters. I think he needs to get to right around here in order to be in range. How has he not spotted that unit? Seriously, shouldn't he have spotted that unit with a unit this close? Sherman tank out trying to hit the shot, but I think the Jagdpanzer maybe will get the first shot, but will roll a miss. Sherman tank will fire back and force the fallback. I think the bazooka is currently firing, takes out this half track. There goes the Jagdpanzer. But he did lose a Sherman 76, but it took out a Command Panther, Tiger Tank, and Jagdpanzer. That is a very good trade for Sherman 76. 2 Fireflies now deployed out. 90% field control command points have been obtained by the Allies. Like another Panzerwerfer barrage thinning down some squads. The Tiger tank going very far forward could potentially spot this motor rifles. IP coming for a barrage, so as my game's lagging up because I'm rapidly moving over from one side of the map to the other. Hitting down a number of the mortar teams, forcing them to displace, as well as the Panzer IV. Panzer IV receiving fire from the Sherman Jumbo. Sherman Jumbo does not have any veterancy, but still at least take it out quite easily. Tiger tank versus Jagdpanzer. That's not enough arm penetration. This will be a good starting point. At this rate, he has to overwhelm it with suppression damage. All of this recon team had an AT weapon. He's probably like, oh crap. If the P-47s are reloaded, now would be time to be a good time for an airstrike. I want to protect this Sherman Jumbo. It's no danger from being destroyed, but the additional suppression damage is not good. Just going to fast forward a little bit, reinforcing across the line. Nothing too crazy is happening. Tiger tank still bouncing off the frontal armor of the Sherman Jumbo, and now it's in the falling back state. Not spinning around, so that's good. We do see an AT gun being deployed. If it's M5, that would be great. We do got a P-38 with a rocket run coming forward. Only 6 rockets, not as good as the P-47 or Typhoon, and doesn't get enough, only barely reaches half suppression. And a huge number of interceptors instantly destroying it from the front. Oh, both of them. That is some pretty good team coordination. You got 2 for each player. Leave that dingo. I think that was a dingo. Did in fact go down. We do got a Puma as well as Command Panther pushing forward. You got this Tiger tank here. 17-pounder is dead. So this may be another one. Could be a 6-pounder. 6-pounder wouldn't be half bad either way. You got a Panzer Grenadier assault moving forward. Panzer Grenadiers, well, the half tracks will provide an excellent amount of support fire as well. Usually I don't like to see this sort of tactic, just blindly running forward into the enemies with a vehicle, but if any time it's going to work, I think it's right now. There's also a Tiger tank here to support. Those 2 riflemen will get splashed down quite easily versus with that Tiger tank. Oh, they're Pioneers, not Panzer Grenadiers. And one of the units are pinned down, multiple units pinned down. Pack 40 providing some excellent covering fire as well. Aircraft strafing around. Sherman Jumbo still alive. This Sherman Jumbo still in the falling back state. Oh, some side armor is exposed. He really needs to call on P-47 in order to stop that fire. Rolls a bounce. How is the side armor of a Sherman Jumbo? It is 10, so it is a significant. Not impenetrable. Whereas in the Jagd Panzer will only have 5 side armor. When Sherman 76mm is now moving forward, which will have trouble penetrating the Jagd Panzer, but the Sherman Jumbo can potentially take shots if it wasn't in the falling back state. Pioneers are forced down. Sexton could continue the suppression. The large push forward here with the Command Panther, AA half-track, machine gun half-track, and the Puma reconnaissance unit. Handful of moto rifles here, as well as the HE Cromwell. I think that's the same one from the beginning of the game as well. Requesting support here. The Axis players need to sustain a huge ticket advantage in order to win the game. German tank could force the surrender of this Panzer Grenadier, but he is not. Bombing run coming on down. Oh, this is a good spot for a bombing run. Get a mass pin down and fall back right there. A half-track being deployed forward, but he needs a tank destroyer or two to deal with that Command Panther. Panzer Grenadier lining up a Panzerfaust and will connect on that Sherman. You got dogfight, but Veteran C2 is better than Veteran C0. Nearly gets taken out on the first sweep, and his wingman goes on in and kills him off. Field control is in favor of the Axis players at +1. Germo has recovered from suppression. German 76s are currently in a good flanking, maneuverable position. If he just runs forward and perhaps hit it, he can hit the Jagd Panzer at close range with perhaps inside armor. But this Panzer IV is looking down the road as well. But the smoke can always provide that access. Looks like Typhoon went in for a rocket run, but I didn't really see where it hit. Let me see exactly land. It may have hit the Panzerwerfer? No. So I'm not exactly sure. Command Panther is dead. I think he hit the Command Panther. What took out the Command Panther? Whoa, that's a big miss. I don't even see what in the area could take it out. Churchill HE? I don't know. You got huge congested forces here. That's not exactly good. We do got the 6-pounder here. Could get a very good close range armor penetrating shot onto the Tiger tank. We do got Pbatts here as well. They can already gauge the Tiger tank, but they're currently being suppressed. Well, tend to be suppressed. Sherman tank not in Pbatt range yet. 6-pounder rolls a miss and is currently pinned down. Pack 40 firing in some HE rounds as well. Bomb came in from somewhere. I'm not so sure where. And all these Pioneers are currently suppressed. And Pack 40 does pin down the Pbatts. So now the Tiger tank has a bit more breathing room, but it's not exactly great at this. It's a coin flip at this range between the Sherman tank and the Tiger tank. You got some reinforcing rifles, but he needs another AT asset. The Sexton can penetrate the armor. Will we see a Sexton kill a Tiger tank? Engine destroyed by the Sherman tank. Sexton claims the Tiger tank. Sexton claimed the Tiger tank. And did that bomb just destroyed his own command unit right there? By the way, also got attack beacon like, hey, move this guy forward. You got a large number of half tracks providing excellent field control. +2 tickets are in favor of the Axis players, but they need a +3 or really a +4 in order to win the game. Actually, with 5 minutes left, +5 at what do you need? Like 95% field control. And that's not going to happen within 5 minutes. There's many half-tracks, too many infantry squads. A couple Stuarts have been deployed out. King Tiger out on the field. And he could have easily done a move fast movement, go down this runway. But and he cannot let this thing fall back. He needs to be pushing it 100% of the time in order for to stand a chance of winning the game. Both the Sherman Jumbos are still alive. Nothing really here to contend with it. Nothing. I don't even see a Panzer IV. I think he's taking out all the Panzer IVs. All the Panthers. Now just left the infantry. It looks like the Allied players have... I would say at this point, they have definitely officially won. Losing that Tiger tank to a Sexton and Sherman tank was probably the decisive point. While this King Tiger, dual King Tiger out in the field. But to me, the King Tiger is a bit of having more than one reasonable, but two, not so much, because you spent so much income saving up income to bring in the second King Tiger, and it takes so long for this unit to be moved to the front line that it may be just too late. Which at this point, the second one is just too late. This one can still get an excellent amount of work done. The Stuarts are just unable to penetrate the frontal armor of the King Tiger. They have they will have even trouble versus side armor unless they get in some close. Allies have plenty of aircraft to even push back the King Tiger. Remember, there's always that strafing run as well. The rocket runs. Large number of Humbars coming in. I think he's a bit scraping the bottom of the barrel for assets deployed. We already saw 2 Fireflies, 2 artilleries go down. So he is running out of assets to deploy. So he's bringing autocannon units. Might as well. Aircraft are being shot down. We do got a couple P-51Ds from his teammate. But he's versus a veteran Focke-Wulf 190, as well as a Focke-Wulf 190s over here, trying to pitch in a bit of damage, as well as the AA weapons. We got this M16. We'll be pitching some damage there. We'll force the fallback. Maybe it'll get it, but one aircraft's forced to fall back as well. This aircraft, probably not. It's been falling back for quite some time. This is not a veteran unit, so it's very inaccurate. German tanks are pushing forward, and this game is in the bag for the Allies. I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward. This game is it's just over. King Tiger is now suppressed. Stuart is eyeing to force a surrender. The Sausage Troop may in fact prevent it. Will, but did not. King Tiger surrendered, but I would say the best part, the highlight of the game is Sexton destroying a Tiger tank. That is definitely the pinnacle moment of the game. This side of the map has been completely controlled by the Allies, and that is the end of the game. Oh, that was a very good game by the Allies play. Not exactly tight. It was a little bit tight at some points, but not exactly the biggest thing. Let's just look at these units. Look at this. I believe this was, in fact, the initial Stuart. Look at this. Panzer Grenadier. That's not so great, but important. But Martyr. Looks. 5 looks and 1 Martyr. Very good. Phipps. Not bad, getting half-track to take out an AT gun. German Jumbo. Martyr. Panzer IV. German Jumbo. Looks. Panzer. German Jumbo, Panzer 4, Panzer 4, 76 Tiger, Panzer 4, Panzer 4, Panzer 4, Panzer 4, Panzer 4. Losses. S1 Martyr did. Oh, those are only really half tracks. Not exactly for a dedicated tank destroyer killing off half tracks. Not like the greatest targets, but not bad either. But you don't see overperforming items over here. Either way, this is Agion saying thank you for watching and signing off.